What is up? What is up? What is up? It's time for the Let's Talk Stock Show! And I want to make this real quick. Man, I had some trading problems today. I actually had to call Thinkorswim Trade Desk. Since I use two different trading platforms, I had to, Tastyworks, you can go like control and click the options you want to sell or buy, whatever, and then trade. In Thinkorswim, I did that, and I did control or shift or whatever, and it put the trade in. And then I was like, oh, shoot, and I was long XPS. Oh, man. Anyway, it was ugly. So I got long SPX, which was actually a good thing. I actually had a fat finger trade. That was a good thing. The thing was making me money, but I was scared because I was like, I had a lot of deltas going on. So I immediately went, and it wouldn't let me take it off for whatever reason. So I immediately went and bought a put, earlier, like 5-day put, and just to get the deltas close to zero, and then I finally got a hold of them, and I was able to fix it. I thought I was going to be in margin problems and stuff. Anyway, I was able to fix it, and then I wind up going back to the put, making that a spread, and that put lost money, and the spread's losing money. So basically, that fat finger cost me about 125, 150 bucks. Unless the market would have tanked tomorrow or something like that, then I'll be all right. Crazy, but so I just want to go ahead and just looking at this bounce. We're looking at the SPX. This is all I do, man. I just look at this chart. So I figure we do something a little interesting, just quick, and just examine this 2-day move with a simple trend line. And if I draw it from there, right, to here, you can see it's kind of getting weak. It's kind of losing it. Even though the Dow was up 167 points. I mean, it was a great rally. With 2 days, it's kind of hard to say it because it can actually just go sideways and then immediately start going up again. So I just, that's just what's going on. I'm getting some of my money back from 2 days ago. It was a disaster for me. Oh, goodness gracious, man. So the last 2 days has been good. I've been just hanging in there. And just still doing what I do, and things are coming back. But man, I had a bad, what was that, Monday? A terrible Monday. Oh, goodness, great. So here's the Qs. This is the hourly chart on the Qs. And it's the same thing. And the Qs just appear to be weaker. They seem like they wanted to give it up, a lot sooner than the regular the SPY. And I was looking at Google was down today, still down, it's down $12 today. With the antitrust thing going on, and which is basically targeting the FANGs, mainly Google, because they really got it going on. I mean, the DOJ already started their antitrust with them, so the market's thinking they're gonna come up and hit Amazon and Facebook. Facebook already went through that, and I'm so pissed that I missed the trade yesterday because, oh man, you can see I got my lines drawn, and I just missed this nice bounce. This would have made me at least 1,000 right there, and I missed it. Ah, goodness. And if it comes back down, I might play it, but I don't know. 3 bounces, if you keep hitting that support line, eventually it goes through. So, and so I just wanted to let's do the Dow real quick. A lot of the industrials and the Dow, we just drawing trend lines on the hourly, right? So, and you can see the Dow is kind of giving it up, but what it means, I'm going to bring it to the 15 minutes. It really means nothing. Really, just because the market was up so hard the last couple of days. I mean, just if you had yesterday's 500 pop and here done 170 in 2 days, up 670 points. I mean, that's huge. You can't just go straight up. So yeah, it's actually impressive. It's going sideways. It hasn't really given it up, and sideways is kind of expected, So why am I yelling? Look at the VIX crashing. I won't say crashing. It's only down 3.83%. I'm kind of zooming in there. And right now, let me bring up the minute chart. I got the minute chart over my head. If you can look right here, you can kind of see that. But I'll bring it up on the main screen. And, closing at the low, because the market's only open for another 13 minutes, is kind of huge. I mean, it's not down big for the market to be up 170 points, it's only down 3.89%. But it is closing on its lows as well. I mean, maybe people's thinking, and let me bring up the SP. I'll bring up the SPY. I was always bring up the, and let me bring up the daily. Look at this. So we did that trend line, but let's look at the downtrend. All right. And what's interesting here is I'm just going to draw a simple trend line. All right. Kind of right there. And we noticed I did the uptrend and we saw how it's going weak, but look at the downtrend. So the downtrend, even though it was getting weak on that 2-day uptrend, that was like big deal, right? But look at the downtrend, and right now this is where you want to short again, and I think this is why the market just kind of, it hit that 180, whatever, and it's just kind of boom, boom. It's bouncing its head off of this. This is a critical point right here. If it's going to continue this downtrend that we had since May, the May swoon, there's the trend line. So if you're not feeling confident, about this bounce or whatever, this, even in my earlier, a couple of days ago, I was like, man, you can't short when it was down here. So if you go back, I'm trying to move it over as if yesterday, you can't. I was like, God, you can't short because you get your face ripped off with a monster rally. Exactly what happened on Tuesday. So you wanted it to come back up into this trend line, into this area, and that's there right now, right? So I did on the SPX, it's like, oh man, you want to believe in the rally, but bottom line, we're still in the downtrend. The moving averages are moving down. So here's the SP. Yeah, I remember I told you I was on the phone with Thinkorswim. So I sold the 210. This was what it was about. The 210, 215. Okay, let me zoom that in. A 30-day call spread. A 30-day, that's a 30-day call spread. It's something like that. This is not the lines, but in there. So I'm basically saying in the next 30 days, you're not going to go in there, and let's hope I'm right. And I mainly put this trade on not to say, oh, man, it's not going to go up there, but just to kind of make my deltas even, so the market ripped a couple of days. So it's a couple of things, yeah. I want to sell into that strength that I don't think we're going straight up and testing all-time highs, new highs. But at the same time, I had a lot of deltas going on, so I wanted to throw some negative deltas in there and catch a lot of premium. So the SPX, right now I got my deltas on the SPX is about two, right? And my theta is 440. So that's what I'm capturing a day, just by the market doing nothing. So let's not race around. Let's just kind of bobble around and let me collect that premium, So that's what I'm doing. I'm just selling options, collecting premium, not necessarily going after the big gains. But when we was at that support yesterday, Juan Avalos, yes, it's Chinese time. yes, kids, it's time for your daily Chinese. Yes, indeed. And so when it was, I wish I could speak Chinese because right now I'd be like, but I can't. The market is, oh, look at that, ripping into the close. Wow. Unbelievable. So yeah, it's when I showed you that 1 hour trend line, maybe this is it. I mean, the strength is unbelievable. So I showed you the VIX, and the VIX is just breaking down, and the market is ripping into the close. Generally, this is a sign that tomorrow could be positive as well. I mean, when you can open, if you could, gap up and open and close, I mean, on your highs, man, it's a very strong day. So, the market's still open for another 8 minutes. But you know what? This Friday is that employment report. So actually, all of this means nothing because the market's going to be trading crazy on Friday morning. What was I going to say? Yeah, so I sold. Oh, I'm not really playing for direction, just trying to sell premium. And also, when we was at the trend lines, when things are bouncing off support, I'll get in there with some straight up calls. That's why I knew I was going to make some good money in Facebook if I would have caught it. See, it just hit that. I had my lines drawn and everything, before, and it just bounced, and it's going back up. It's probably gonna go up to here, at least halfway, and I'm afraid to get back in there. I'm afraid to chase it. I feel like I missed it, and I know if I get in there right now, it'll just kind of go down for whatever reason, So I think you still have plenty of room on it. Well, I think this trade still works, but I don't know. I'm just afraid. Yeah, I'm just afraid of it. Yeah. The challenge used to be called trade and skip, so that's why I'm afraid. But man, that was a great buy point. So sometimes when you see those, you want to kind of just really jump in and take advantage, and that's why I got burnt on Monday, because I thought Tuesday's action was going to be Monday's action, and it wasn't. So it kind of burnt me, man. Oh man, I tell you. So yeah, that's what's going on. I just want to talk about that. That was the VIX. Let's look at the advanced decline line real quick. It's over my head. It's right here. Okay, because I got all this jibble jabble on the scope. There it is. There's today's action right out the gate. It was a selling. And it's just a slowly ascend all the way through. More stocks going up, then they're going down. And it's not closed. It's not going to close at its high, but it's not bad. It's not a bad day. We'll look at the ticks real quick. Wow, that's what was going on. The only 1,000. What is going on here? Excuse me while I just look at this phone here. Okay, the only 1,000 plus tick, plus or minus tick was on the downside. It didn't even in that. Generally that's a great trade. When you see that, man, start buying, and it goes up, and it only went up as far as 855, but the market it closed strong. So actually that tick, that 1,000 on the downside, a little concerning, but it's weird how the market shook it off, and it's going to close on its highs without a tick above that 1,000 tick line, positive tick line. So interesting. It just makes you go, All right, so one of my favorites, I ain't mess with these today, but straight sideways, Amazon. And I'll tell you what trade I did today. I wanted to make 150, made 125, and it was my lotto. It was my lotto play, and good thing I still would have got it. And right, let me see if I can find. It was just like watching paint dry, man. I think it was right here. I was like, that's it. That's the top. That's the top. And I sold the 230, 235 call spread for 60 cents. Sold 5 of them. Okay, so 60 times 5, $300 I could have made. I just wanted half of that, so I was trying to get 150. And then you could see right after that, it was just bouncing around sideways. I thought I was, where did I do it? It was more like over here, 1 o'clock, going up, down, up, and I thought it was gonna bust through, and I couldn't collect that 50, that half. I was actually losing most of this way, and I was like, man, these options, it's not going down. This is the last day. Yeah, these are the options that expired today. So when on this downdraft right here, that's when I got out. I was like, I got out. I didn't collect the 150. I think I collected 125. So I went to sell it for 30 cents. I sold it for 40 cents, right? Yeah, something like that. And I just got out, and it's a good thing, because this would have scared me, this right here at the end, but it still didn't reach that 230, so it would have been a win-win anyway. I could have walked away. I could have went to the beach, and it would have expired worthless, So I did that. That was an interesting trade. I don't like doing those too many times. I did one live right here on Amazon. I lost, so this one I could have done live, but figures. If I would have done it live, I lost. I did it behind the scenes, and it worked. So maybe I got to kind of keep that action behind the scenes. But I'll play with that every once in a while. I just thought, wow, man, the market's toppy. And but those options were not losing any value whatsoever, man, going into that. So here it is. I mean, what made me do that 230, I could kind of draw it out. Yeah, it's right here. This area right there. And I was like, it's not going to just blast through today on through that area after coming off that low, at the 27.28. It's gonna kind of reject, and it didn't get there. So tomorrow it might get there and then kind of mess around. So it might be another good. If it breaks that, that'll be pretty good action, and maybe maybe we can go higher. Some people saying that was the low, and it could have been, that could have been the correction. Even though this was only down 7%, a lot of stocks was down 10 and 20%, especially them tech stocks. So this is the broader market, but some stocks, taking some damage, man. So that might be it. That might be the correction right there. But who knows? But we do have a level that you can play with, and that's yesterday's or Monday's low right there. Maybe you can stay long, and if it goes below there, get out. It's a little. We came in. Another thing about that's on the pros that maybe this is for real. If you wanted to go long, notice how the market didn't give you a chance. It's just boom up 400, boom, then up to 6, and then boom, it's up 200 today. And it doesn't give you a chance to get in. And sometimes that's a sign that was the bottom, because you want to get in. So you're like, what? I hope it's down tomorrow. I'm going to get in. No, boom, up another 300. And you missed the whole rally. It doesn't let you think. Like, I think I'll put a little bit. I think this is the bottom. I'm going to put a little bit of money in there. Does not let you think when you're hitting the bottom. So it makes me think maybe that was it, because it's just gap, gap up, gap. It's just going through, and you either got to just buy and close your eyes. Yeah, there it is. Market's closed. I'm showing the Dow down up 196. So you just buy, close your eyes, and hope for the best. You get in small, and hopefully there's a pullback. Like say down here, the 24th. It was fear, boy. It was crazy. Christmas Eve too. Oh man! And then look how big the bars are. The 26 is boom, boom, boom. It's relentless. The comeback is just crazy, and you just miss. You don't have time to catch the bottom. If you think it's the bottom and you maybe want to nibble your toes, no, there's no time to catch the bottom. And it kind of, when you see that, sometimes that's the bottom. So that's what I'm getting at. If it was just kind of lingering down there, that's not the bottom. No. All right, so there it is, man. That's what's going on. And I did that last trend line. What am I still looking at? SPX. And we're right there, man. This is the short point, even though we breached it a little bit. Or we either gonna bust through. It's looking good kind of for the bulls, but tomorrow will tell. And if we go sideways, that's positive. If we don't give it up, if we just hold it, I think that's positive. So yeah, let's just wait till tomorrow, see what happens. Let's see what happens, man. Look at that. I drew that actually not bad, but it kind of bust through with a hammer candle. Stochastics turning positive. Yeah, it's actually looking pretty good. So I'm putting on some more bullish trades. I'm trying to just look at the charts and not say, oh man, it's gotta go. I'm just not listening to the talking heads. This looks kind of positive. But tomorrow, big telltale action. Can we get above that? Can we break out that range? It's even, if you look here, it's even above that. So it's peaking its head above. So let's see what happens. All right, so thanks for watching. Juan. Got your daily Chinese lesson. If anybody else don't understand, let's just call it Chinese and watch it. Now, if you don't understand, hey, if you got a question, put it in the comments and we could talk about it. I'll talk about it for the next video. I know I kind of talk, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I kind of talk where it's not super basic. I talk like everybody knows what the hell I'm talking about, and I need to change that. So I'm just talking about what I'm doing, what I see, what me. I'm not necessarily trying to teach, but I'm just putting what I see, what I'm doing, what I know out there. And that's the whole thing of this channel. This is Dre. You know, some people are like, oh, you know, but nah, I'm not sitting here trying to sell you a course or trying to do that, or, you know, I'm not doing all that stuff. Anyway, so thanks for watching, man. I appreciate y'all. Share, like, do all that stuff. Comment and below, man. Whatever you don't understand, put it on there, and it'll give me something to talk about for tomorrow. Because I do this every day, Monday to Friday. Sometimes Saturday, I'll get on there and just make a video. All right, so I appreciate everyone. Thanks for watching. I'm Dre.